Uber driver realizes mid-ride she picked up boyfriend's Mistress from the airport. She could only tighten her grasp on the steering wheel when she noticed her boyfriend's vehicle. But, as she was attempting to make sense of it all, the man himself emerged. It took him a few seconds to recognize her, but once he did, chaos ensued. He began to run, but he could not get away. Breanne jumped out of her car, ready to execute a unique brand of swift and harsh punishment. Breanne and her boyfriend had been dating for a while, and she could not be happier with her relationship. She knew that he was the one for her the moment she laid eyes on him. The couple started dating shortly after meeting and were conjoined at the hip. Calvin was the type of man that Breanne would feel proud to bring home to her mother. He was patient, loyal, and sweet. Bree thought that she had found the man of her dreams, but she was wrong. As every couple does, Bree and Calvin had their relationship struggles. Their primary issue was that they did not spend enough time together due to them both prioritizing their careers. Calvin focused on getting a promotion at his corporate job, and Breanne was working several jobs. Despite these challenges, the pair tried their best to make the relationship work. Breanne was determined to make more time for her boyfriend. The pair had a great relationship, even though they did not spend a lot of time with one another. They just made it work. The relationship was going smoothly up until Calvin received a troubling phone call. Calvin's mother's health took a turn for the worst. Calvin truly wanted to be there for his mother during what he felt was her final hours, so he decided to book a flight to New York. Breanne tried her best to be a supportive girlfriend and tried to be there for Calvin in any way necessary. Despite having to get up early for her new job as an Uber driver, Breanne comforted Calvin throughout the whole night. She even woke up earlier than she needed to say goodbye to him. She gave Calvin a tight hug goodbye and then left to start her new job. Both of them were unaware of what was going to happen that day. Bree started to miss Calvin almost immediately. In an attempt to distract herself, she threw herself into her work and pushed any thoughts of her boyfriend to the back of her mind. Breanne received a message from her first passenger. She was so excited. The lady was requesting to be picked up from the airport, how ironic. Breanne got to the airport and waited patiently for her passenger, not knowing of the awful surprise that was in store for her. Breanne started driving towards the client's destination. The woman spoke a lot and shared some details of her personal life with Bree. The passenger told her that she came a long way to visit her lovely boyfriend and how excited she was to see him. All the talk of their love made her miss her boyfriend. Everything else the lady told Bree flew right over her head as her thoughts were preoccupied with Calvin. When they arrived at the passenger's destination, Bree knew exactly where they were. Her passenger did not know which apartment her boyfriend lived in, so Bree had to wait for her to get the number from her boyfriend. Bree started to feel uncomfortable as she was driving through the gates. It was really strange that her passenger's boyfriend stayed in the same complex as her boyfriend, Calvin. Bree and her passenger started counting down the building numbers until they arrived at the correct one. Bree was taken aback when she realized her boyfriend lived in the same apartment building as Calvin, the one she had left earlier that day. This strange coincidence made Bree miss Calvin even more. Then she noticed something horrifying. When Bree looked over at the parking spaces by the building, she noticed something that made her stomach turn. She slammed on the brakes and stepped back to examine the situation more closely. Anger filled Bree as she read the number plate on the car. This was no longer a strange coincidence. The car was indeed her boyfriend's, the one he had driven to the airport that very morning. So he had lied to her about going to see his mom? Her blood was beginning to boil. She took a deep breath and counted to 5. Not wanting to cause a scene, she decided to confront Calvin after the passenger had left. But the passenger's next words made her snap. "I think this is it right here," the woman squealed. "This is his car." It was all over now. Bree's stomach plummeted, then she stiffened as the adrenaline rushed through her body. She gripped the steering wheel, digging her nails into it until her knuckles turned white. They were both waiting for Calvin to make his appearance, but for different reasons. Bree didn't have to wait long to be put out of her misery. Calvin appeared and everything really hit home. He lied about going to New York. He lied about his sick mother. He lied about everything. He had been cheating on her with a woman who was sitting right next to her. And Bree was livid. Bree looked right in his lying face. It took a few moments for him to register that she was there, but when he did, his smile fell. Now, he looked like a frightened deer. And Bree was going to eat him alive. He started to run, but he wasn't quick enough. Bree leaped out of the car. As explained by Bree, his aide come out the house ready to assist with luggage, and the devil rose up out of me like, "Are you dead? Right now," he runs. Before he could reach the safety of his apartment, Bree was on him. She pummeled him with her fists as hard as she could. She delivered blow after blow, but suddenly, there was a hand on her arm.